Hello everyone and welcome to Financial Accounting 1A. My name is Magdi Farag and I'm going to be your instructor for this class. 1A, I think it's a very easy class. All it requires is just some kind of dedication. The purpose of this video is to go over our syllabus and to understand all the content of the course and the requirements. The syllabus is always considered to be something like an agreement or a contract between professor and the students. So I just hope that this is going to be clear. Make sure that you read it clearly and carefully, and we're going to spend some time going over the details, and hopefully you won't need any questions. But if you have any questions later on, please send me an email and I'll be happy to respond to you. So as you can see here, that's the title of the course, Financial Accounting. It's Accounting 1A, and this is for these two sections which are offered in spring 2023. My name is Magdi Farag, and this is my email, which is magdi.farag@chaffey.edu, and I think the email is the best way to communicate with me. If for some reason you don't have access to the computer, you can always call me on this number. This is a virtual number. I can never answer this phone. It's just send me or it takes you to a voicemail, and this voicemail is sent to my email. So if you want to inform me about anything, just let me know through this phone number. The class time is, as you know, this is an online course, so we don't have class meetings. But I'm going to update the material for the course requirements every Monday. The class location, again, there's no class location. So class location only is Canvas. So the textbook that we're going to be using is Financial and Managerial Accounting, and it's all, I think the best way to get this textbook is through the bookstore or their website. You can have an electronic copy of that textbook. This is the 16th edition, and it's a good investment because I think this is a class that would rely heavily on the textbook. And the textbook would be used in this class and also in the extension of this class, which is Managerial Accounting 1B, which hopefully you'll take in the next semester. Canvas is the website that we rely on to communicate together. So you will find all the course material offered on Canvas. Your grades would be posted, and also any kind of submission that you need to do, like including even exams, are going to be through Canvas. The only exception is homework. Homework is going to be done on the publisher's website or the textbook publisher website, which is Cengage Now, and this is the link for the homework assignment. You will have to register for the homework, and there are more details on Canvas. There's a link that opens a PDF file that gives you all the instructions for what you need to do in order to be able to enroll in Cengage Now. Again, as I said, the textbook's title is Financial and Managerial Accounting. It's the 16th edition by Warren, Jones, and Taylor. There are three ways of getting the textbook, either ebook, or which is for 4 months, or ebook for 12 months, or you can also get a loose leaf, but make sure that you get with it the Cengage Now, which is the online platform. So you need to have access to Cengage Now to be able to do your homework. For other material needed for this course, of course, it's an accounting class, so you will need a calculator. You don't need any kind of sophisticated calculator. It's just a simple calculator that does the addition and multiplication and all these kind of simple things. You also need a notebook, a paper, an eraser, pencil, of course, internet access since it's an online class, and you also need a valid email address. Please make sure that whenever you're communicating with me, you're using your Chaffey email. There are no prerequisites for this class, so it's a course that you can take without any kind of prior knowledge. The course description, I'll leave that for you, as well as the student learning outcomes. The student learning outcomes and objectives might not make a lot of sense right now, but trust me, once you complete the course and you go back and read them, you'll find that these make a lot of sense. So again, to save your time and my time, I'll skip this part. But I encourage you to go back and read it at the very end of the semester, and trust me, it will make a lot of sense. So regarding the homework, I'll just read this part so we all be on the same page. So as it says here, in accounting, homework is critical because concepts cannot be fully understood until applied in assignments. And this is why I think having regular preparation of the homework and working on the homework is very important, because if you don't do the homework on a timely basis, things will start to accumulate and it will be very complicated. And accounting is one of those concepts that is tied together. So it's not like we're going over separate concepts. No, these concepts are somehow related. So if you start working on the homework, you'll find that things are getting easier over time. But if you start skipping homework, then you will find like the foundation is not there, and that will make it very difficult to be able to understand the new concepts. However, even though I firmly believe that it's very important to keep track of your homework and make sure that you complete your homework on a weekly basis, I don't want to create this kind of pressure of deadline for you. So the homework assignments, all homework assignments for the 13 or 14 chapters that we're going to cover are all due in the last day of the class, which is May 14th. So until May 14th, that's the due date for all homework assignments. However, I encourage you to keep track of your homework on a weekly basis. As soon as we cover one chapter, make sure that you go over the next chapter. So don't accumulate. But if for whatever reason you missed one day or 2 days, it's not the end of the world. You can still catch up. But don't start skipping homework assignments, because it's going to be very difficult to start working on the homework after the midterm, for example. It's going to be too late. One of those things I mentioned here is that you're required to work a minimum of 10 hours per week. And trust me, accounting is not too challenging, but at the same time requires some kind of dedication, and you have to commit to studying accounting. It's not a course that you're going to spend 20 minutes a week or even an hour a week and you expect to get a decent grade. So you have to put some time and effort in order to learn the course and do the assignments, do the readings, because again, it's a discipline, and as any kind of discipline, you have to know the requirements, understand the material. So that's one of the things I wanted to stress on. One thing I also want to mention is the homework is going to be through Cengage now, so make sure that you check the PDF file I have on Canvas that gives you the specific instructions for how to enroll in Cengage now. There's something I like to call the class experience, and before I talk about the class experience, I just want to stress on the fact that each homework assignment is worth 5 points. So we have about 14 chapters, so each one is worth 5 points. I'm going to drop one of them, so the homework assignment is going to be up to 60 points. So I'm going to drop 1 or 2 as homework assignments, so the lowest grade. So if you miss 1 homework assignment or 2, it's not the end of the world. But again, make sure that you complete as many homework assignments as possible. Another thing, just to relieve the stress out of you, is to make sure that if you earn 80% in any of the homework assignments, you are guaranteed the 5 points. So in other words, let's say you're working on an assignment and there's a little tiny thing that's not working for you, and your score is not 100%, it's 95% or even 87%. You're still getting the 5 points. So as long as you're over 80% in the score on the online assignment, you're earning 5 points for each chapter. So this is just, again, something to avoid this kind of stress that you can go through for I know some of you are perfectionists and they want to get 100%. That's great, but if there's something tiny that's not working for you, then it's not the end of the world. You're still getting your 5 points. So going back to the class experience. Class experience is another term that I use for quizzes. And these are going to be based on your readings and your homework. Of course, listening to my videos, which I try to spend a lot of time explaining the material as much as possible. Given the limitation of working in front of a camera is not always convenient to see the questions or read the questions in your mind as in in-person courses. So we're going to have about 12 class experiences. Each one is worth 8 points. We're going to drop 2 of the lowest class experiences. The maximum grade would be 80 points. Another thing that's going to be included in this course, but right after the first midterm, is something I call the annual report experience. And the annual report experience, I think it's a good exposure to the reality of this class, because many of you might not work as accountants, but I'm assuming that most of you would rely on accounting for decision making, and this is where the annual report experience would be very important. I expect you to be able to understand the financial statements, read the financial statements, and use these financial statements to run some analyses and ratios in order to be able to make a decision. And that's the purpose of the annual report experience. The word annual report is another term for the combined financial statements for large companies. So we're going to be using the financial statements of a company we all know, which is Nike. It's available at the end of the textbook, in the appendix of the textbook. And we're going to be using these financial statements to run some ratios and see whether things are getting better or worse. We compare it over time, and I think it's going to be fun. So we're going to have 5 of these annual report experiences. Each one is worth 4 points, and you're not going to see them until after the first midterm. Another important component for this class is the term project. And it's a comprehensive kind of problem that you would work on that would cover, I would say, the first 3 chapters of the course. And it's not due until the end of the semester. However, you're invited to start working on the term project right after the first midterm. So once we're done with the first midterm, I think you have enough knowledge to start working on this project. It's an individual project. I really want you to work on it. These are guaranteed points, 40 points. I see some students in the past who would skip this easy assignment. It's time consuming, but it's easy. So some students would skip this assignment and lose the 40 points, which is a significant part of your grade. I would say this is about 8% of your grade. So don't lose them. These are easy points. These are guaranteed. So make sure that you earn these points. And again, I'll send you a reminder once I believe that you're ready to start working on it. But please don't procrastinate, because that's the biggest enemy in this class. The next thing is dropping the course. I don't want to talk about that. I think it's not really important, but of course, if you want to drop the course, you need to make sure that you meet the deadlines. And here are the important dates for dropping the class. If you want to drop the class with a grade of, or without a grade of W, then the deadline is January 29th, or the 29th of this month. If you decided to drop the class after that date, but before April 4th, you're going to receive a W grade, which is a withdrawal. I don't think you can withdraw from the class after April 4th. So again, if you choose to withdraw from the class, it is your responsibility to do so. I will only drop you from the class if there was a no-show. So somebody who didn't show up, did not access Canvas for the first, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks, did not do any of the assignments, then that's an indicator that this student is not enrolled in the class anymore, or not interested to be enrolled in the class. The next thing I want to talk about is academic integrity. As you know, this is an online course, so I assume that you are mature people and you should be trying to learn in this class. I think learning is more important than a grade, and accounting is one of those disciplines that are based on ethical behavior. So I just assume that you're going to be behaving in an ethical way. So cheating, plagiarism, or any kind of unauthorized collaboration between students or others is something that would not be accepted. So again, I just want to make sure that you're clear about this. Even though this is an online class, you have to take it seriously. You have to put your own effort into succeeding in this class. And if I have any indication that says otherwise, again, I'll just need to follow the syllabus in this case. Online course commitment. It says here, course commitment is critical to your understanding of the material, as I said before. The nature of accounting is such that each new concept builds upon the former. Therefore, your success in the course depends heavily upon regular involvement with the course. So please make sure that you have like some kind of routine for studying for this class. Every week you allocate at least something between 7 to 10 hours to study, watch the videos, do the homework, do the assignments, do the class experiences, the annual report experiences, work on your project. If you have questions, feel free to send me an email and so I can clarify anything that or any concept that you have. There are computer labs available in many different locations among campus and other campuses. So in the main campus in Rancho Cucamonga, these are the locations. Chino, Fontana, Ontario, all of these branches, they also have computer lab centers. There's also the Chaffey College Student Success Center. I'll leave that for you again to get more information. If somebody needs help, just make sure that you reach out to these centers. Same thing with Career Center, and this is their number and email and their website. Now let's talk about the exam, and we're going to have 2 midterms and a final exam. So there will be a total of 3 exams in this class. Each exam will cover 4 to 5 chapters depending on, I think the first one would be only 4 chapters, second one is 5 chapters, and the third one would be about 4 chapters. The questions might be formatted in different ways, mainly multiple choice questions, and it could be other forms of questions and problems. The exams would be based on chapter reading, homework, lecture videos, and our course assignments. And all the exams would be available through Canvas. So now let's talk about grading. So as we discussed earlier, homework assignments would be worth 60 points. So only 12 of the homework assignments would be counted. Class experiences would be 80, and we have, I think we said we are going to have about 12 of these, or maybe 10, between 10 and 12, so each one is worth 8 points for a total of 80 points. And then we have an annual report experience, and that's worth 20 points. We're going to have 5 of these, each one is worth 4 points. The term project is 4 points, and then each of the exams would be worth 100 points. So as you can see, like 60% of your grade is based on exams, which is something that would require studying, and 40% would be based on other assignments like homework, class experiences, annual report experiences, term project. I like to call these the easy points. These are guaranteed points, so don't lose them. Just put the effort to get done with them. And by the way, for the class experience, which is another term of saying quiz, I don't like the word quiz because I don't look at it as a quiz. It's a class experience. I give you more than one chance to retry the class experience or the quiz. So at the first, you're going to be given a problem that would require some solving. And once you finish it, you're going to be given a set of 4 questions, multiple choice questions, that are based on the problem. And if you're able to solve the problem, then the multiple choice questions would be easy. You have several trials to get these right, and I think each one of you should earn the 8 points every single time. So for the grade scale, I use A, B, C, D's, and F's. I don't have pluses and minuses. I think it's better for the students that way. So in order to earn an A, you need to get 450 points or above, and so on. So it's like every range is within 50 points. The total points is 500 points. So if you want to get an A in this class, which I think is very doable if you put the effort and get the commitment towards the class, then try to shoot for a score above 460. I'm not saying 450 because I want to have like some kind of safety margin. I don't want you to be on the edge. Don't be on the edge. Try to not lose more than 40 points. Okay, that's the most you can lose to get an A. Same thing for a B. Don't lose more than 90 points. Because if you're shooting exactly for 450 or 400, again, you might get lucky sometimes or might not. So let's say somebody got 447. Is that an A or B? Technically it's a B, but officially I would make it an A. I'll find a reason for you to be an A. I'm a human being. I would see that there might be a reason that you should get an A. But at the same time, if it's 400, let's say, and 43, that's a B. I'm not going to change it. It's hard for me to find a reason to make somebody who earned 443 points get an A, and compare that person to somebody who worked hard and, let's say, got 480 and got the same grade. So again, that's why I'm saying try to have a safety margin. Don't lose more than 40 points if you want to get an A in this class, which I think most of you can do it, if not all of you. Again, calculators are needed for the class experiences and exams, so make sure that you have one of these. Again, nothing sophisticated. For disability programs and services, any student who would need help with the DPS, please let me know. I'll take care of that. There's also something called the Panther Care Program. There's more information about it here, and feel free to reach out to Alicia Rosas, either by phone or by email if you feel like you need help with this kind of program. And last but not least is the schedule of classes. Here is the chapters and the dates they're going to be released. The first exam is going to be on February 13th. The second midterm would be on April 3rd. And the final is going to be on Monday, May 15th. So again, one more time, I want to thank you for joining me in this journey, in this class. I think financial accounting is a very interesting topic. I personally enjoy it. I enjoy talking about it all the time, and I hope you'll find it interesting. And let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.